Gibraltar, British Overseas Territory, known as the Rock. Population 30,000. Make that 30,064. Situated at the base of the Iberian Peninsula, Gibraltar is home to financial services, online gaming companies and some famous monkeys. For this weekend it was also home to the world's finest darts players. After a 3-year absence, the Rock was back in the Arrows big time, hosting the 5th leg of this year's European Tour.
If you want to make it an international sport, you need to play everywhere over the world, and I think this is a good start for all of us. This is my 4th time over here. I already played here a couple of tournaments, but now the tournament is getting bigger and bigger over here as well, and they also sold a lot of tickets, and that's very important for the sport.
The more exposure darts gets, the better. You know, it's getting bigger and bigger darts now, and everybody loves it.
I really enjoyed Gibraltar. The people are very friendly, great atmosphere. We've got some great players over here.
People from Gibraltar say they've got a chance now of coming see us and meeting us. You know, but all the lads are walking up down the street, you know, doing the shopping and whatever. So it's nice as well to meet the people that, you know, support you.
We come out here a few years ago and have tour events, and then we hadn't been back for 3 or 4 years, and then the opportunity come up to get the government people involved.
We have a commitment to events-led tourism, and therefore what we want to do is we create the event, and then we are hoping that by the event you bring people to come to see the event. And obviously this is a very, very big profile event that is in UK, is growing and growing.
We come in with all the top boys on the main stage, get a crowd in, and that seems to be the blueprint that we're going to take worldwide, and that seems to be working.
In the nice sense of the word, there's a circus that goes around with it. And therefore there are many people who love the sports and would come to this beautiful Gibraltar, spend 4 or 5 days looking at Gibraltar and at the same time watching the sports they love.
This is going to be amazing for everyone who's going to watch.
Yeah, there's going to be some great darts thrown. The atmosphere will be unbelievable.
Party atmosphere, the sun, and just a great place to be.
In the shadow of the Rock, the Victoria Stadium was the venue for the Gibraltar Darts Trophy 2013. Players arrive at the venue anything up to 3 hours before their opening match to prepare and practice in the backstage area. A host of famous names make up the 64-man field in this PDC European Tour event, one of 12 such tournaments that happen annually. First up on the main stage, Premier League runner-up Simon Whitlock, who struggled against Irishman Connie Finnan.
Still missing doubles.
Well, Connie, you require 105.
A lifeline for Connie Finnan for the match. 45 left. Double 16 for the match. And he does it. Connie Finnan beating the number 2 seed, Simon Whitlock.
I didn't play very well. I missed a lot of important doubles. He played very well. Every time I missed, he checked out, so fair play to him.
The winner of the previous 2 European Tour events, Michael van Gerwen, sailed through round 1.
Game, shot, and a match, Mark van Gerwen.
It started scrappy, but the Dutchman put his foot down and accelerated away from John Bowles. The top seed marches on.
Some legs I played very well, and some legs I played really, really bad, but on the end of the day, this is the first round, and I'm warmed up now.
Jackpot safely through, but only just. Mickey Mansell losing out in the decider.
For double 12, no messing, and the match. And it's Adrian Lewis, pushed all the way by the man from Northern Ireland.
No reforms there, it's just coming out, you know. And when I'm under pressure, it seems to come out, and when I'm not.
Next on stage was the power, Phil Taylor. First came to Gibraltar 20 years ago and has been winning here ever since. A 6-2 defeat over Gino Voss for the 16-time world champion who knows the value of the European Tour.
European Tour, it's important. I mean, it's good for getting the darts to people that can't watch us. That's what it's about, really. I mean, if we go over to Holland and Germany and these places, you know, Scandinavian countries, they never have a chance to come and see us because the tickets for the Worlds and places like that are always sold out. So they love this type of thing because it gives them a chance. I mean, people from Gibraltar say they've got a chance now of coming and see us and meeting us. So it's nice as well to meet the people that, you know, support you. I love playing darts. I love everything of it really. The challenge, you know, you get up in the morning, you've got a different challenge each day. Different players coming through, you know, I mean, I've had challenges for getting on for 30 years, you know, different generations, but you know, every year springs a different one up, and it just like gives you that little, it's like having a new car every year, you know, it gives you that little bit of a boost to try something different.
Gibraltar's best hopes lay with Dylan Duo, who competed at the 2010 World Championships, and his partner at 3 World Cup of Darts events, Dyson Parody.
Gibraltar is a close family anyway, so yeah, I've got around 20 members of my family here, so it should make them proud.
The World Championship is the biggest competition in the world, playing darts, and this, for me, is the biggest competition with the home crowd shouting. That's going to be great.
Duo took on Gary Anderson while Parody faced Andy Hamilton. Parody lost 6-5 last time he met a hammer. Going one leg better this time could set up a dream second round clash for the locals. Parody may have had the backing of the crowd, but it was Hamilton who got the better start. At 4-1 down, the writing was on the wall for Parody, but he wasn't going quietly. Hamilton, though, on to clinch the match, but Parody did his home country proud with his performance.
It's my hometown, so I wanted to prove that I could play darts and I could give 100% and beat the best in the world, you know. Congratulations to Andy, he's one of the best players in the world. I go back to work and I collect cooking oil from all the restaurants in Gibraltar, so it's back to work Monday.
Duo's big night in front of the cameras wasn't going to plan. A near miss at a 170 checkout, the closest he got to winning a leg against the Flying Scotsman. Heavily involved in setting up the tournament, Duo was still in demand off the oche. That's the end of day 1 in Gibraltar. Coming up in day 2, darts perfection?
A good response here.
That's 6 perfect darts from Ross Smith. He comes down for treble 15, hits it.
Gibraltar is known as one of the Pillars of Hercules after the Greek legend of the creation of the Strait of Gibraltar by Heracles. Steeped in history, the small British overseas territory also boasts a booming economy. In the offshore tax haven, the banks may be shut for the weekend, but for the darts players, it was time to get down to business. From flights arriving to the flights on the darts, the Victoria Stadium the venue. More seeds went crashing in the afternoon session. John Part losing to Leon de Jesus.
For a 6-1 win, and that's exactly what he's got. John Part, on his birthday, dumped unceremoniously out by Leon de Jesus.
And Jamie Lewis was proving to be a thorn in the side of number 4 seed Robert Thornton.
Game, shot,
Jamie Lewis, a man who was 3-1 down. The 21-year-old fights back to win 5 of the next 7 legs.
Number 13 seed Paul Nicholson found that number to be unlucky against Steve Brown, but the Geordie come Aussie took time out to give us an insight into life on tour.
Hi, I'm Paul Nicholson. Come on in.
From playing golf between tournaments to ironing to eating correctly, being a pro darts player isn't all about being up on stage.
The first couple of years are tough. They're really, really tough because you have to find a rhythm and you need to get used to being away from home all the time. I'm I found it tough the first 12 months, and I didn't really cope with it very well. But after a while, it just became second nature, and now it's a total flip side. I feel strange staying at home for a long time. You've just got to fill your time and keep yourself busy. I think if you stay in the hotel room all the time and just don't do nothing, you tend to get bored, you tend to get lonely, and you get yourself into bad habits. You know, Gibraltar is a lovely place. You know, you can go and do the rock tours if you've got the downtime. There's plenty of places to walk around. Spend time with other people is a very, very important thing, because if you are constantly spending time on your own and you do get lonely, you're just going to get depressed.
Paul keeps himself busy and in shape.
It's not powerlifting or anything like that, but it keeps you going. And especially in a career where you're constantly moving from place to place, you've just got to do something about it. You can't be lazy, because if you want to play in any sport, whether it be darts, football or tennis or anything, you've just got to find a way to do what you need to do. And me, people take the mick out of me all the time because I'm quite skinny, but at the end of the day I do work hard to keep my figure. You know, I'm 12 stone, I want to be 12 stone for the rest of my adult life. So in order for me to do that, I've got to do these kind of things.
As well as exercise, making sure he eats the right thing is also high up there on Paul's agenda.
The first thing that goes through my mind is, when do I need to eat? My brother's a chef and a nutritionist, so he told me that the best time to eat is about 4 hours before, and then have something very small about an hour and a half beforehand. So I have these specific protein bars, because they're good for slow release energy, and it keeps you going through a match. Nights before, and generally on the mornings of, if I do have an extra half an hour, I tend to do a little bit of kind of meditation, but the preparation side on the morning has never really changed throughout my entire career. I like to just lie flat on the floor, clasp my wrists together and just close my eyes and just imagine what I've got to do for the day. And because I've been going through a lot of psychological processes with my psychologist at the moment, what we're focusing on is actually sticking to the process of being a good dart player. So a nice smooth throw, you know, not looking too far ahead. And I've got different things that I do on the hockey and in preparation at the venue for those kind of things as well.
Feeling good also comes from looking the part.
You wouldn't believe how many of the guys can't even iron. It's kind of embarrassing. I mean, I remember a few years ago when I was starting to room with Robert Thornton, and he said he wouldn't iron his shirt, and I said, give it to me, I'll do it for you. Because there was no way I was going to let Robert go on stage with a crinkly shirt.
Body check, mind check, clothes check. Equipment?
I always have 2 sets of darts with me. The last thing you want to happen is for something to happen to one of your darts, and you haven't got a spare set. So in the case here, I've always got an emergency set, which are pretty much already set up. You always have backup flights, backup stems. I have nail glue, which is becoming quite popular on tour, because a couple of years ago I actually had a flight drop on the floor, picked it up, and it aggravated an old rib injury, and I had 2 broken ribs. And I thought to myself after that, I don't want them to fall on the floor at all. So a little drop of nail glue on the tip of the flight. When it goes into the stem, it doesn't come out at all now.
Unfortunately, the preparation didn't produce the desired effect, and Paul was left to contemplate what could have been.
When I'm finished, I like to go for a walk, because it's an indoor sport. We're constantly indoors in hot venues, so it's nice to just get outside, get some fresh air. When I get back to the accommodation, everybody knows me. Cup of green tea, calms me right down, and I start to reflect on what I've done right and what I've done wrong. Think about the positives, not the negatives. Yes, I lost, but there's a lot of positives coming out from the last few weeks, so let's focus on the next good job. Well, I hope you've enjoyed seeing what it's like on the other side of the dartboard. I'll catch you next time on tour. Bye-bye.
Some big names out in the afternoon session of round 2. Paul Nicholson, former world champion John Part and Robert Thornton all exited. Colin Lloyd, Jamie Caven and Dave Chisnell all though made their way through into round 3. The players for the evening session of round 2 headed back into the Victoria Stadium for some practice. It was a jovial atmosphere behind the scenes, with the top stars of the game all in action. It pays not to be late when you're going to the darts. Those who'd made it into the Victoria Stadium for 7 o'clock were in for a treat.
Yes, you can't afford to let in someone of Lewis's quality. You will get punished. But a good response here. Smith with his second 180 of the match.
A couple of times today we've already seen people on the nines after maximums in their first two visits, and Ross Smith is looking to emulate them. And he's still going. That's 6 perfect darts from Ross Smith. In both cases previously, we saw the 7th dart missed.
96.
Ross Smith looking at 141 for a perfect 9-darter. The 7th is there. It comes down for treble 15, hits it. Ross Smith has hit a perfect 9 darts! 180, 180, 141 and double 18. He receives a hug from Adrian Lewis. This Gibraltar crowd are in dreamland. On their feet to a man. We said there was a huge chance of a 9-darter this weekend. Ross Smith has delivered. Was he the man you would have picked to do it? Maybe not.
Well, I wish I'd gone down the bookers and put some money on it now. And fair play, Adrian Lewis congratulating him. He knows how much that means to the 24-year-old.
Lewis went on to take the match, but it was a night Smith would remember forever.
It means absolutely everything. You know, it's all right doing them in practice and things like that, it's fine. People go, I've hit a 9-darter in practice, it's great, but to do it up there, now I can say I've actually done it. And to do it on the stage means more to me than anything. So, but AD's fantastic, that just shows professional. He gets on with it, gets the job done.
And the excitement kept coming as the machine James Wade battled against Ronnie the Rocket Baxter.
Got it, and now has a chance to win the match with a 108 and celebrates in a style fitting of a man who's won a dart game. And really, it looked like he was going home.
World number 1, Michael van Gerwen, made short work of Scott Rand. And Phil Taylor overcame Dean Winstanley. The crowd were treated to another 6-5 classic in a seesaw match between Andy Hamilton and former Premier League champion Gary Anderson. The hammer finished 95 on a double 16 to seal the deal.
Game's up. And a match. Andy Hamilton.
Confirmation that Lewis, van Gerwen and Taylor are all through. Other winners in the evening session included an impressive Kevin Painter, Steve Beaton and Kim Hybrex. That's all for day 2. Tomorrow, finals night. Gibraltar is the gateway to the Mediterranean. Nearby Morocco can be seen from the Rock, the closest point between Europe and Africa. Initially inhabited by the Phoenicians, Gibraltar is known to be the last holdout of the Neanderthals in about 24,000 BC. Beautiful setting here for the professional darts players to enjoy. We caught up with Michael van Gerwen relaxing on his hotel rooftop.
If you want to make it an international sport, you need to play everywhere over the world, and I think this is a good start for all of us. This is my 4th time over here. I already played here a couple of tournaments, but now the tournament is getting bigger and bigger over here as well, and they also sold a lot of tickets, and that's very important for the sport.
And these PDC European Tour events are vital for players to earn ranking points.
It's not only about the prize money, it's about you win the money and the rankings, and everyone wants to be number 1 of the world, and if you want to be number 1, you need to play these ones and you need to win them, and that's very important.
The action was hotting up at the darts as the last 16 players left in the tournament prepared to do battle on the final day. Van Gerwen was first up on day 3 against former world number 1 Colin Lloyd. Fresh from his win over number 8 seed Ian White, Jamie Caven was planning another upset over Adrian Lewis. Kevin Painter against James Wade looked like a good match, as did Kim Huybrechts against Peter Wright, and number 3 seed Dave Chisnell against Gary Anderson's conqueror Andy Hamilton. The ever-popular Michael Van Gerwen hadn't been at his dynamic best in the first 2 matches, but he still had too much bite for jaws.
Michael Van Gerwen now looking at 45-5 for double top in the match and a 6-1 win, and that's exactly what he's got. Michael Van Gerwen marches into the quarter-finals.
2-time world champion Adrian Lewis set up a mouth-watering showdown with Van Gerwen thanks to some top-class finishing.
Game shot, and a match, Adrian Lewis.
How do you beat MVG?
Just play my own game. I know if I score a lot better than that, and I finish like that, I'll turn him over, simple as that really.
Taking out the big shots at the right time was key to his win as the artist brushed aside the machine.
97. Kevin, you require 117.
1 treble in the first 2 darts. Well, he's hit it with the first dart. He will take his time. He'll probably step back now. No, good rhythm. Double top.
Game shot.
Brilliant darts from Kevin Painter.
I've won a PDC floor event since 2006, but I've won a TV event, so I know how good I am, and that I've got the ability. I've took some good players out, so we'll see how we go. You never know. It's a short format, so any mistakes can cost you, but we're going okay at the moment.
Jamie Lewis was turning heads. The young Welshman had won at youth level and was now on the verge of mixing it with the big boys.
Double 18.
Game shot.
And does it.
Match, Jamie
a 6-0 whitewash against a really out of sorts Steve Brown. He can now relax for a few hours and get ready for a quarter-final against Kevin Painter.
The first year was tough for me because I didn't think I belonged, watching people like Taylor and stuff. I didn't think I was one of them, but I'm starting to feel now as if I am one of them kind of thing.
1996 world champion Steve Beaton was rolling back the years as he held his nerve against John Henderson.
Steve Beaton through to the quarter-final, where he will play the winner of the next match on stage here. Phil the Power Taylor in action.
Taylor had a 115 average in his opening match against Gino Voss. The 16-time world champion had only dropped 3 legs in his first 2 matches and was in no mood for leniency against another Dutchman, De Heus.
Game, shot, and the match, Phil Taylor!
As temperatures were rising, some players had remarked on having 4 possible matches in one day.
That's it, we're in Gibraltar, southern Spain, what do you want? You know what I mean? Not coming to the North Pole, are we? This is Gibraltar. If you can't stand the heat, get out of Gibraltar. There you go.
Here we require 40.
Huybrechts found the best possible way to release some of his pent-up emotion.
Game, shot, and the match, Kim Huybrechts!
Not long after losing his father, the Belgian revealed his family had just been dealt another terrible blow.
Had some bad news, private life, with my mom having cancer and things, so that's very hard. But I've been preparing myself really well, and I feel good now. We'll see what happens. It can turn around any time. If you have some bad news, it's always hard, but you know what, it's darts, anything can happen.
Some pluses galore for Chizzy in hammering the hammer. 8 maximums and a 111 average for the number 3 seed who booked the final spot in the last 8.
He wants double 16 now for a 6-3 win. And does so with the 3rd dart. Fantastic stuff from the man from Northern England.
So that win for the Chizzy Rascal sets up a clash with Hurricane Huybrechts. The reward for the Bronze Adonis' last leg win over Henderson, the Highlander, is a showdown with 16-time world champion The Power, and the artist will take on the Rasta, Jamie Lewis. First, it's Jackpot Lewis and MVG in the standout quarter-final. That will give the fans even more to cheer about.
It's been brilliant. We've had absolutely such a good time.
Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
It's beats the rain back in Wales any day.
Brilliant. I've been stalking them all week, really. You see the Facebook photos I've got.
Met Van Gerwen last night as well.
It's all about being here and the name Gibraltar, and it's fantastic. We've had such a brilliant night.
And the fact that the big darts players, the biggest names in the world, keep coming here is great. Great for us, great for Gibraltar. And today it's been a great night.
I think it's been a success.
We saw a 9-darter earlier from a very sort of unknown player. He's not world famous, so to see that sort of thing in Gibraltar is fantastic.
First time I come over here, really looking forward to it. Hoping that Chizzy Rassel can get the job done again.
Who's going to win? The power, of course.
Dave shows no without a doubt. He's going to win tonight.
I'd say Hybrex, but it's looking like MVG.
Van Gerwen,
Van Gerwen. Even though he's not British, Van Gerwen.
Yeah, MVG. You can't look past him, can you? He's too good.
Phil the Power Taylor.
Go on the Chizzy Rassel.
Plenty of support for MVG, but he was in danger of going out of the tournament at the hands of Adrian Lewis in the quarters.
100.
The third time in 4 matches in this Gibraltar Darts Trophy, Adrian Lewis has been taken to an 11th leg decider by his opponent.
A couple of solid tons for the two-time world champion. And it's good.
93.
Michael Van Gerwen is breathing down his neck though, and that looks a great dart for AD Lewis. I'm not sure he can't stay there. He'll knock it out the board surely. He comes down for the 17s.
Well, I think I would have been running to the board to retrieve that one.
98.
Adrian Lewis has 6 darts from 164. You wouldn't think he'd go for the bullseye even if he does hit that treble. Well, he's staying there and sets it up absolutely perfectly. No need to go treble 18 bull with Michael back on 210. What kind of pressure will AD be under as he looks at double top? He's already missed a couple of darts at it. Will it be third time lucky for Adrian Lewis? Yes, it is. And the #1 seed is out. Michael Van Gerwen's unbeaten run at the European Darts Tour is over.
My scoring wasn't there really, my finishing wasn't there, and he deserved to win. He played very well.
Michael Van Gerwen's been the best player in the world last 6 months. And you know, I've kept him under pressure from the off. He took out a few good finishes. I kept laying him in, to be honest. What was happening with scoring, where before previous games, my finishing's brilliant and my scoring's been rubbish. So obviously, you know, put them both together and I'll be the man beat.
It was another thriller in the second quarter-final as Jamie looked to join his namesake Adrian in the last 4.
Lewis now with the first dart in. Oh, the 6th 180 of the match for Jamie Lewis. What a time for the young man to hit it. The deciding leg. And he's going to give himself 6 darts from 165. Like you say, probably the biggest match. Certainly the biggest match of his PDC career. He's going to set it up, stay there, don't move. Well, I'd go for a 25 here, young man. Oh, he goes for the 57 and hits it.
Superb stuff. So, Jamie Lewis to set up a semi-final with Adrian Lewis. No relation. But double 14 for the match. And he does it. Jamie Lewis, the UK qualifier, finds himself in the last 4, dumping out Kevin Painter, 6-5.
Absolutely amazing, so chuffed. I didn't think I'd get this far. I booked my flight home this afternoon, so I've had to change my flight tonight, but I'm so chuffed.
Since Beaton won his world title in 1996, Taylor has been crowned champion another 12 times. The bronzed Adonis had a 3-dart average of over 100, but that wasn't enough to win so much as a leg.
Game, shot, and the match, Phil Taylor!
An absolute masterclass from Phil the Power Taylor.
Plan for the semi?
Same again, yeah, head on and score and don't finish. Really, that's the way the game is now. It's one of them games where you can't really miss. Do you know what I mean? I know there's been games, you know, I've won and whatever, but you try not to miss, and that's it. You know, you've just got to get through and just keep pushing forward all the time.
The Chizzy Rascal had reached the final of 2 European Tour events and was looking to go a step further. Huybrechts had been impressive in his win over Peter Wright.
Gets the big 3. Steps back, pauses again. He knows how big this dart is. Double 8 for a place in the semi-finals, and does so. 6-4 the victory. So it'll be Dave Chisnell up against Phil Taylor, completing our semi-final lineup.
I like playing Phil. The better players I play, the better I get. But I've had 2 good games today, so hopefully I can do what I've done today.
So 2 great matches which went down to the wire, and in both cases the Lewis boys came out on top. Number 3 seed Chisnell was many people's dark horse, but his path to the final was blocked by Taylor. In his 4 matches, the Power had lost just 3 legs and was clearly the man to beat. With the finalists having to play in 4 matches in one day, stamina as well as skill would be required. As day turned to night, 4 of the original 64 darts players were left to do battle for the £20,000 first prize and title of 2013 Gibraltar Open champion. The reigning world champion Phil Taylor had been the most impressive of the semi-finalists, dropping only 3 legs in 4 matches. The Power would now face number 3 seed Dave Chisnell. But first on stage it was the battle of the Lewises. Both had come through nail-biting quarter-finals, winning their deciding legs. Perhaps it should have come as no surprise then that their semi-final also came down to the 11th and last leg.
And Adrian Lewis needing to go all the way against Michael Mansell and Ross Smith. Before seeing off Jamie Caven 6-4.
139.
And this is where Adrian needs to make his experience in these situations tell. But that word focus you keep using, Rod, this is just all that Jamie Lewis needs to do. Do what he's been doing all weekend.
Oh, that's great darts. Chasing the trebles, as we say, and he pins 2 of them. Keeping the pressure on. We know Lewis has been here so many times. He knows what to do. But this young man, he's got a bit of experience. He'll know that a 12-dart leg cannot be beaten. He may get 9 darts from 2-2-7. Oh, you cannot fault that. If Phil Taylor went up there and threw those first 9 darts like that, we would be hanging off the rafters with excitement. The young man, when we said the 12-darter can't be beaten, he's going to have the 3rd dart at least at the bullseye.
So 67 left. Sorry, he wants the bullseye. My apologies.
ID require 160.
And again, that dart was perfect. And Adi, as you can see, step over there, he can't believe that he missed that treble.
Well, the pressure really is getting up there on stage, getting here in the commentary box as well. The heat rising in the Victoria Stadium. And for an historic victory, the man from Wales.
Double 2 for the final. Oh, and he's put it on the wire. The young man has had his chance, and Adi Lewis now wants double top Now double 10. Oh, and now we're going up to double 5. And Adrian Lewis has gone and missed. And you can see the frustration in Lewis. Adrian Lewis, that is. And Jamie Lewis now steps up. This is where you take a big, massive breath. Get the oxygen in those long lungs. Keep the rhythm. Keep the focus.
Adrian's put his darts in his pocket. He thinks it's all over. Double 2, and it is. The biggest match of this young man's life and the biggest victory. He's on his way to a final here in Gibraltar.
Not feeling the pressure would be the key to the Welshman's chances in his first senior final.
When he played in the final, everybody's going to have nerves. But hopefully, you know, he does his job and enjoys himself.
But who would the 21-year-old face? Chisnall or Taylor?
That is exactly what he did not want to see in a must-win leg. They're all must-win legs now for Dave Chisnall, and that is an absolute nightmare.
Well, 2 hooks and a slice there, I think.
87.
We will have the final. Jamie Lewis versus one of these guys. Be a short break for them to collect themselves, prepare themselves as Dave Chisnall tries to find his 3rd maximum of the match, and there it is. And after a nightmare visit, it's the perfect one. But Phil Taylor, he's not going to let him get away. Not at all. The mark of a champion. He wants to end this right here, right now.
Well, Chisnall's coming down for them 19s for the 136 to lead the 170. He needed the treble 20 to do that. But Taylor now 6 darts from here. He's going to have to switch for the 19s now. The 134 would set it up. Well, he's missed that for up the 18s now.
57.
You can see what he thought of that. And Chizzy now needs to get in that treble bed and working his way down slightly.
100.
Decent last dart, but may not be enough. That's may have to take out a ton plus check out to stay in the game, as Phil Taylor looking to set this up. Down for the 19s.
87.
A rare miss from Phil Taylor, so instead of having a dart, perhaps at a double, it may only be to the bullseye. If Chisnall doesn't take this out, well, he's going to have a dart at double top to get it back to 5-3. A lifeline for Dave Chisnall, and this time he misses it. The Phil Taylor, he's got to go for the treble 20. That's his first attack on this dartboard. Oh, he's gone with the bullseye. Well, now it will be 15. That leaves the bullseye, and this first dart leads it into the bullseye. That's exactly what he did.
Phil Taylor, a 6-2 winner, taking it out on the bullseye. And the power, the 16-time world champion, has cruised into the final of the Gibraltar Darts Trophy.
The young gun against the old master. The surprise package against the favourite. Who would prevail?
All Jamie needs to do is play like he's played so far this weekend, beating the likes of Adrian Lewis, a 2-times world champion, Kevin Painter, Robert Thornton, those sort of wily old campaigners. He's got nothing to lose.
I think his strength is that he's young and he doesn't care. He's what we call up for none. You know, if you'd have said to him before he come to this tournament, you know, where would you expect to get? Perhaps last 16, I just want to do well. I just want to do well, you know, and be proud of myself. Now he's in the first major final.
You've seen it this weekend that he's remained calm and cool and collected, especially for a guy who's 21. And he's gone to deciding legs against big name players, Adrian Lewis, Kevin Painter, and he's managed to get the job done. He's hit big scores in those deciding legs. So he's evidently got the bottle to be able to pull off a big scalp.
If he goes up there and puts pressure on himself, he won't play as well as what he can do and should do. Just go up there, enjoy it.
Phil Taylor, he won't show any mercy against who he's playing. He's ruthless. That's why he's won so many titles over the last 20, 25 years. He doesn't care whether he's playing Raymond van Barneveld, Michael van Gerwen, or a youngster coming through, Jamie Lewis. He'll want to clip his wings up on that stage in the next few minutes and show him that Phil Taylor is here to stay.
Phil's strength is his all-round game, what we call his leg-on-leg pressure. You know, Phil Taylor, if he loses a leg, he never wants 200, 300. He always wants the 40, the 68. That's where he puts his pressure on.
His scoring's there, his finishing's there. And when you're playing Phil Taylor, you're not just playing Phil Taylor. You're playing history, you're playing the reputation, you're playing the legend, the greatest player that's ever played the game. So Jamie's got to be able to deal with that, as well as the fact he's throwing 100 average and has been doing all weekend.
Phil Taylor's not going to make many mistakes, especially in a final. He doesn't make many mistakes anywhere, but in a final he makes even less.
The pressure of reaching the final against a legend like Phil Taylor might just show, and it might just be one step too far this time for Jamie Lewis. Who knows, he may come back and win many more titles in the future, but I think Phil Taylor will seal this victory here in Gibraltar tonight.
I'm afraid I've got to go with Phil Taylor. You know, we're going to do it on the cold light of day, probably convincingly.
I think it's going to be Phil. I don't think I've seen enough from Jamie that's going to really, really worry him. If it gets close, if he somehow gets it to a deciding leg, then Jamie's shown that he can hold his nerve, but I'm not sure we're going to see it go all the way. I think Phil's going to win it in 8 or 9.
For Lewis, this was uncharted territory. Never before had the youngster from Cardigan reached a quarter-final of a PDC event, let alone the final. Taylor was looking for his first European Tour win for a year. The power wouldn't have to wait for much longer.
And averaging just over 100, and those ton plus scores standing Phil in good stead, even though he's yet to hit a ton 80, whereas Jamie has hit 3 of them. This Taylor's 78th Pro Tour final, quite extraordinary, and this man playing in his first, and hopefully the first of many over the years.
Now, the very first ranking tournament that this man won was in Moncton in Canada back in around the 88-89, beat Bob Anderson in the final, his first overseas trip, and hasn't stopped winning since.
Were you playing in that tournament as well that day?
I did. It was my very first tournament on the tour. I lost all my luggage on the way out and my darts. Still made the quarter final. And the rest is history.
Well, we were talking earlier about the huge odds you would have got for this man Jamie Lewis for reaching the final, but the odds for the final would obviously have been weighed very much in the favour of Phil Taylor, and it is going with the form book at the moment. But every credit to Jamie Lewis for getting this far, and he'll take a lot on board from this weekend. And a 167 would be a way to end a superb tournament this weekend in Gibraltar in some style. One in the bullseye.
Well, a lot of times he wouldn't have gone for the bullseye, but to win a final, to go out on the 167 would have been class. And now he's going to get 2 darts at double-8 to wrap this final up.
9 then for double-8 for Phil Taylor.
Game shot and a match for the 2013 Gibraltar Darts Trophy champion, Phil the Power Taylor.
So a convincing win in the end for Taylor, who lost on average just 1 leg per match. No shame in being beaten by Taylor for Lewis, whose performances in Gibraltar secured his place at this year's prestigious World Match Play event. £10,000 prize money to Lewis, but $20,000 for the Power. Not a bad return after a weekend in the sun.
So one and only 16 times champion of the world, Phil the Power Taylor.
I'm more proud of this young kid than I am myself. He's done his job, he's gone on with it. He didn't even know he's in the room. He's a little bit of a silent assassin. He's gone on with it, and he's done proud this week.
Since I was about 10 years old, I've always said I just want to play Phil Taylor. Do you know what I mean? Just want to play him. And to play the legend himself is just mad. I'm just chuffed to even play against him. I think he was a bit too strong for me, but to be honest with you, I think the semi-final for me was like my final, because I won that game against Adrian, and it put me in the match play, and I was so pleased with that. You know, I came up against Phil, and I just tried to enjoy it really, and to be fair, you know, he demolished me, but that's what he does.
I love Gibraltar. I loved every minute. I've been coming to Gibraltar probably since 1990. Love it. Love the place, love the people, love everything about it.
In the world of darts, Phil Taylor is like a rock, unmovable, tough to crack, a fitting winner in Gibraltar.